What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. It's been doing a lot, so it gets a lot of attention because of that. Nobody else is going to give it attention, so, you know, the BCH crew has to, right? I'm definitely pro BCH, man. If you're not about BCH, you think it's a scam coin, that's okay, you know, but why do you think that? You know, do you think that because the media, because everybody in crypto says it's a scam coin? Do you just think that because that's what everybody says? Because a lot of people, the facts of the matter is, a lot of people in crypto think that Bitcoin Cash is a scam, that it's a fraud, that, you know, all these things. But like, if you actually look at it, man, Bitcoin Cash is not a fraud. It's not a scam. It's an OG coin. It is better than Bitcoin. It's literally better than Bitcoin. It'll probably never surpass Bitcoin unless Bitcoin does something that's like goes against its protocol and leave the door open. The second Bitcoin, if the BTC Core blockchain, if the developers around there, the second those devs mess up and leave an opportunity for BCH to come in the door, that door's not going to shut, man. It's going to stay open forever because Bitcoin Cash really is, man. It really is just like Bitcoin. It's just better. It's literally better. Faster, cheaper. Yeah, anyways, the only thing that I think Bitcoin has on it, BTC physically has on it, is it's more decentralized. And that's a completely valid thing. You know, it's definitely more decentralized. There's a broader user base on it, but you know, enough of that. Let's actually get into the charts. Let's actually like look at the information that we're seeing here and see what it's telling us and what we could expect the price to do in the coming days, coming week, coming weeks, whatever. Looking here on the RSI, just the RSI itself, we went very firmly, I mean, you break into the overbought zone, that's nice, but you get into the 90s, that is a hot move, man. That's a big move. So we are firmly in the overbought zone. I made a BCH urgent video the other day talking about how anytime that BCH has seen an RSI rating about here or higher, that we've seen on average a move that is greater than 20% to the downside. I want to go through actually. This is Coinbase, right? So here we are on the daily. Again, it's the daily. It's not anything else. This is the beginning of Bitcoin Cash here. Anytime that we've been here, I want to measure the move down, okay? I want to measure the move down. Let's do that, okay? So let's see here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that it's easier on the cursor. I think there are 14 iterations, so bear with me. It'll take time, but just bear with me, guys, okay? So from top here, I guess here we had a peak. Okay, so from top, let's zoom it in a little bit more. From top to bottom there, very small move. It was a 15% move to the downside, okay? The next one that we had, from top to bottom, we went up, man, or we went down 63%. And I want to actually address this real quick because this situation right here could be something that we're experiencing right now. I don't think it is because we are above the white line just like this was here, but it could. If we were to hold this kind of area here as support as we did before, it might spell that we're having a more immediate move to the upside and we're going to have a smaller move to the downside. But we'll come back to that. For now, I want to just keep things simple. Anytime the RSI has gone above this white line or to it, I don't want to measure this. It's close enough, but not close enough, right? This one close enough, but not close enough, right? So I want to measure every iteration very specifically where the price went to this white line or above it, to it or more, and I want to measure from the high to the low, the most relative high to lows after that, okay? So here we are. This one here was at this high. And you're going to notice most of the time that this actually does happen at a significant high, okay? And we get significant moves after. Look at that, 63% drop, 63% drop, 15% drop. That's not as significant, but still, I mean, I would love to save 15% if I could, right? This high here, if we're going from the, oops, that's not completely accurate there. Let's see. There we go. That one's a 20% drop. Is that correct? Is that, it's not accurate, no. 23% drop. There we go. 23% drop. And then this one, it didn't hit the line. I'm not going to count it, though. This top did have some kind of, you know, we had bearish divergence. So beyond the white line theory that I'm going over here, there's bearish divergence clearly that should have suggested we're going to go lower. The next time that we actually hit this line was over here, right there. So let's go from top to bottom. You know, in the immediate term, we dropped like at least to here, if not here. That's like a 76% drop, but over time, it could be an 88% drop. It could be a 76% drop. I feel like this was all one move, so I am going to count it. We had a nice bounce here, though, right? We had a little bounce there. I mean, how much of a bounce was that? It doesn't look big, right, in comparison, but I mean, that was a 33% bounce right there, so I'll count that. I'll count that right there. We don't have to say it could be 88%, however you want to look at it, but let's count it as a 76% move to the downside immediately, right? We saw a little bit of bounce there, and then it was further down after that. Up to the white line here, straight up and through it, actually, kind of like we did this time. From top to immediate bottom, I guess we dropped like 23%, but really I would feel more comfortable calling that the bottom. I don't know. It could have been this, maybe 23% to 28%, something like that. I'm going to go with 28% on this one. Went up to the white line here, again, from top to bottom, and I'm going somewhere with this, guys. 25%, just stick with me. We're almost there, I promise. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe to see more. So from here, from top to bottom, this was, again, a 15%, 15.9% drop. But we had bearish divergence again. I'm not going to count this high because it did not get up to the white line. It's definitely away, but there was a bigger drop that happened afterwards. So if we get bearish divergence, be aware of that. We would see bigger drops for sure with bearish divergence. I'm going to count this one. It didn't quite get to it, but it's close enough. And, you know, I guess to the immediate low that we saw, that would have been a 29% drop, arguably more, but we're not gonna argue too much. We're just gonna go through this quickly. From here, from top to bottom, again, because this was a red candle, so that means it probably went up before it came down to close the day. That's a 27% drop off of this one. Not close enough for me, not close enough. That's close enough right there. Top to immediate bottom, I guess, would have been right there, 39%. Again, right here, it didn't quite reach the line, but I think that's close enough. Top to bottom, that's a 22% move. Top here to bottom, the more immediate bottom, right there, 43%. And then this, it's not that close. Again, you get that bearish divergence move, and you get the bigger move afterwards. So really be aware from that. That does happen. But that more happens at like the cycle top, so I don't know if we're going to see that exactly right now, but do be aware of that. Right over here, this is the last iteration we had, okay, and this is important because this last iteration was 11.5%. Very, very small move compared to anything else we've seen. If we go back in time, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13... 14 iterations, with this one being the 15th, okay? 14 iterations, 3 of which were smaller than 22%. Everything else other than that, I think the smallest one we had, besides 11% and the two 15% drops we had, 22% right here. This was the smallest one. So out of 15 iterations, I guess technically 14 that have come to fruition, out of 14 iterations, I'm going to get rid of the RSI now. Out of all these iterations here, only 3 of them were below a 22% drop from top to bottom. And the last one we experienced was actually the smallest one. And this happened in a time where BCH was arguably being boring. It was in a sideways range, right? No volume. We have a lot more volume now. We have a breakout. I would expect that we're going to see a bigger dump than 11.5%, and I would expect that we're going to see a bigger dump than 15%. The fact that we just had the smallest one, I think we're overdue for a more average one. What's an average one? I'm saying, right, at least 22%, but if we look at all of these, you know, you've got a 263%, 23%, 76%, 28, 25, 29, 27, you know, so I would say arguably something above a 22% move. Below 30% or even below like 25%, but somewhere around like 22 to 25% of a move is the average, okay? And we're going to base that off the average because right now we're in this overbought zone, or we were above the white line just a little bit, and now we're rejecting it. We could hold support. If we hold support in this area like we did before, we could go up higher. We might not see that big of a drop. The first time that happened, it was a 15% drop, but right now, from top to bottom, we have seen a 15.91. Is that correct? That's not. Is that correct? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Because that's the top there, right? Yeah, okay. We've seen a 15.9% correction. I think this fits the range. It's totally fine. If you want to buy here, I give it the green light for sure. But it wouldn't surprise me if we dropped, a little bit lower. 22% to, and let's put lines there actually as we're going. 22% right here, and then down to, let's just say 30%, okay? It could be more than 30%, it definitely could be, but I'm going off of like the average kind of expectation here. So I would say that my current expectation, looking at Bitcoin Cash and just this dramatic, fantastic move we've had, let's draw some fibs on it. Let's see if anything lines up with those areas. The 236 is right here above this white line. We could wick below the 236. We could wick below it, but close above it still. This first white line actually looks pretty good. And then the second one actually at the bottom of the range, this is right at the 382. So really, even if we took those white lines away, this fib retracement is pretty, it's just a little bit higher on both scales. But again, price can hold these levels, but just dip below it on a wicking basis, right? Like if we closed here, we held 190 as support, right? But we wicked below it, just as like an example. But I would expect from here at 195, I would expect that we would see Bitcoin Cash go anywhere from about 150 to 175, somewhere in that range. I think it goes just a little bit lower, and then I think, guys, we're going to go higher. I do think we're going to go higher. How much higher, I don't know. This week is almost over. Oh my goodness, we have 1 minute and 20 seconds left. I didn't even know that it was this late in the day. Let's measure this fib here from top to bottom. We're at, man, this is crazy, guys. Like you literally just straight, you didn't check back with any of these levels. You just went straight to the 1618, literally. And now you're about to close above the 1414. This definitely wants deeper extensions. Definitely, 100%, man. It definitely does. I want to get this fib here, see if it's a little bit closer or more accurate. Let's just see. I like this one because it's more like close in proximity up to like this. I'm gonna delete it just to show you what I mean. This kind of area right here is what sent us up here, not this area, right? That's why I like the fib off of that one. But just to be fair, to see if price is respecting it from top to bottom here, and that is the low of the cycle, so that could be relevant. We're holding the 1272 as resistance. We're closing right at it. We bounced off the 236 here, went straight up, and we went up to the 1414 and found resistance. Yeah, that's completely possible too. It could look like this. From this look, I would anticipate that we would see, I mean, just from this look alone, man, I would anticipate that we would at least see prices go to 244, if not 290, or higher. The 2272 is completely in play. But from the other fib, from the other one, from this one, which I like this one a little bit more, again, because it's more relative in my opinion, I would expect that since we hit this 1618 so very immediately, coming down and finding support on the 1272 or even down here, this white line is, it's not right at the 886, it's actually at the 100 level. Finding support on either of these white lines or in between this range and then coming back up would lead me to believe that we are going to see deeper extensions, like to the twos, right? And when I say twos, I mean these numbers here, not these numbers. These numbers are $300, $417. These numbers are a lot bigger. I doubt that it's going to make a move just like it did here. If it does, great. I'll be in it. I'll be excited about that. But I doubt that we get another week like this, like back to back. If I make all this invisible, we can see here that right. Let's just see. Had a big week here. This was a week where we moved up 149%. Very big green candle, very bullish, retraced afterwards, right? Very big. We moved up all these weeks, week after week. We moved up, but on the big one where we moved up 90% in a week on a closing basis, we went down afterwards, right? These ones aren't as big, I guess. Again, here, big one, 41%, pretty big candle, down on the next week. That next week we went down 22%. Here, 46% candle, down the next week. Right here again, 41% candle, down the next week. Anytime that we get a pretty big candle, literally anytime that we've seen it, I guess, let's see, this one was 40% here, and that one was 33%. So I guess this one right here, this one could be the exception. But this is a bigger candle in relativity to it. And again, this big candle we had a retracement. This big candle we had a retracement. This big one here, 57%, we had a retracement. So anything that's like really largely above 40. Okay, right here too. This is the second one that happened. 54%. And we continue to go higher afterwards. To be fair, with this one, with this 54%, we did break above, or let me see, did we? Yeah, we broke above the 50 on the RSI with that. That should have screamed continuation in itself. We are well above the 50 on this one. We did just break through it with this candle, but man, we're in overbought territory, so it's a different game now. And hey, the new week just started, man. We closed with 81% to the upside. I do think that this week does see some kind of a pullback. I do think that it will be around 150 to 172. I'm going to get rid of these white lines. And that makes a whole lot of sense to me because with this fib here, we haven't shown any respect on it yet necessarily. We did, I guess, find support on the 236 here and then just went straight up. But with this fib here, around 175, 177 is the 1272. We could wick slightly below this, find support here, and then go up. We could come down to the 100. We could wick down to the 886, which is at 145 even. We could go that low. Maybe I would say 145 is probably the lowest that I would give it. I mean, I guess it could drop lower, right? It could drop lower. We saw a 39% move at one point, so it could go down to the 786. But I would be surprised, really, even if we saw the 886. I would think that 150 to 177, that area holds. And when this holds, with how strong of a move this is, with the breakout and everything involved, this is just the beginning, guys. This is just the beginning. I would expect, again, a retracement more in the immediate term time frame. But this move is not over. It's not over. Short of like a 22% or more drop to the downside from top to bottom, not even from here, right? From top to bottom, a 22% move or more, that'd basically be there. From the current price, that's only a 12% move, so it's not too far away from here. At least 12% is a big move. I know a lot of people would hate to lose 12%, but I mean in crypto that's nothing. If you have a problem losing 12% in crypto, man, you do not have the endurance, I guess. Like you're not going to be able to last because this kind of stuff happens all the time. You got to be able to just wait it out and appreciate the bounce when it comes, or anticipate the drop, buy it on the drop, buy the dip, and then you'll get the move afterwards. The reason why I think we're going to see these extensions, these 2272s at 301 or the 2886 at 417, basically anything from $300 to $400 before we have any kind of significant top off. If we look here, this is where the price range is. It's kind of in the same area from low even. The lows are above the 1886. If we get above there, we're definitely going here. So I would think, based off of that alone too. But if you treat the fib, if you've paid attention to my videos at all and you've learned how I've talked about them, you know that when we break through the 618 on the first pass, when we break through it, that we are almost guaranteed to see extensions, right? It's when you find resistance on the 16 or on the 618 and you find support down here, maybe these 886 or 786s, maybe that's the resistance, but you still have a good chance of seeing extensions. We, on a weekly basis, found resistance, and on a daily basis, found resistance right at the 1618. I like this more on a daily basis. We're just checking back. We're going to check back, and then basically what this means on the next time, similar to the 618 down here, on the next pass up, I would expect that we break it. Whenever we break it, there's a couple levels to watch for, namely the 1786 and the 1886, okay, 233 to 246, but if and when we get above there, it could be a move up to the 2272 or the 2414. Again, I don't think, or higher, honestly. 2618 is totally in play. And in fact, getting up this near, I would expect that we see some kind of price action around this purple line, if not above it, at least on the first pass. I wouldn't expect to find resistance on it, though we could. But like here, right, we came down, and we found support on this line, but we wicked well below it, right? I'm kind of expecting something like that. We might find resistance on it, but wick well above it, which at the 2618, that would definitely be a sizable wick above the purple line. We very well might see price turn around at around $360, $365. And when I say turn around, I don't mean by a lot, guys, right? Maybe we go down from there to $260, right? And that is a lot, don't get me wrong, but I don't think we're going to see lower lows. by any means. I don't think that the move up to here is going to happen like this one did. I don't think it's going to happen in a week. I think it'll happen over the next month or the next couple months. But in anticipation of that, I am going to set up buy orders down at around 175 to 155 probably. I think it could go lower than 155, but I'm going to take a sizable bit of my portfolio, man. Like a sizable bit of the cash that I have on hand, and I'm going to layer some orders basically between 170 and 155 in anticipation that we are going to see from top to bottom at least a move that's 22% or bigger. 22% I guess would put us right around 172, so maybe I'll do 175. Did I say 175? I said 170. So I guess 175 to 155 is where I am going to layer my buy orders. I'm gonna go very heavy on the 170 order, the 175 order, and I'm actually going to most of the time how people do it, they layer very lightly. They put 10% here, 20% here, another 20% there, something like that, and then they unload the rest of it, like the whole 50% at the very bottom. I'm gonna kind of take a reverse approach to that. I'm gonna go very heavy in it at around 175. What I'm putting into the position, let's say I was putting in $100, okay? I'm going to put in a lot more than that, but let's say I'm putting in $100 just to keep things simple. I would put 50% in at about 175, and then I would take the remaining 50%. I'd probably split it up in literally like either 15% intervals or like 20% intervals, and then whatever the odd amount is, maybe set that at my lowest. But I'm going to go very heavy at 175. See how it reacts. If it goes lower, go a little bit heavier. If it goes lower, a little bit heavier, or I guess a little lighter technically. And then I'll have a little bit of cash left over with the hopes that we could go below 150. I might put it like right at 145 actually, right at this 886. With the exchange I'm on, actually, I might do, because using Gemini, it's a lower. I use Gemini. I use Robinhood. I use Kraken. I use Binance. I use Coinbase. I use KuCoin. You know, like I don't just keep myself on one exchange, but I am going to buy on Gemini here. So less liquidity. I might actually put my lowest order at 150 on the dot, with the anticipation that it won't hit. So that way, if it does hit, I'm pleasantly surprised. And if it doesn't hit, if it bounces up from there, I can just buy back in again at that original area where I went heavy at, around 175. So that's my kind of game plan. I hope it wasn't too confusing. This is not a game plan for you. This is my game plan. This is, you came here to see what I'm talking about, what I'm doing, right? This is my opinion. This is what I'm doing. I'm not recommending this for anybody else. But using the fibs and just what I, off of the data that we just went over, I would expect that we're going to see at least a 22% drop from here, and that would put us around 175, 172, somewhere around there, if not lower than that, actually. And I would actually expect lower than that. But let's see real quick from top to bottom, because this fib actually might be more appropriate. I wonder if anything lines up. Ooh, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. It might not go too much lower than 175. 175 might be the bottom. It could go down to this 382. Previous area of resistance tested as support. That's really nice, It could go below 160 for sure. But I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get in very heavy at around 175. That's the current plan at the moment. I'm gonna take whatever amount that I'm putting in. Right. I'm gonna take about half of it, set an order at 175 on the dot, and then the remaining half I'm going to spread out basically until 150. Yeah, that's the expectation. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that right after making this video, actually. And I do think right now Bitcoin Cash is not done with this move. I do think it goes higher, but don't be surprised. Please don't be surprised, because we're seeing. Oh, it was on the daily. We're seeing readings on the RSI that every single time we've seen it, and actually, I think anytime the smallest percentage drops have actually only been when we've rejected the line. Anytime we've gone above it, let's see here. We've only gone above it a couple times. So here we went above it. That was a 28% drop. Here we went slightly above it, I think, right? Yeah, slightly above it there, 23% drop. And then here we went above it too, and that was a, okay, yeah, this one. That was the 63% drop. So, I mean, I guess anywhere from a 23 to a 63% drop is completely on the table. I don't think we'll see 63. I'd be surprised if we saw more than a 30% drop here, but don't be surprised if from the top, I say from here, I mean from the top. Don't be surprised that if from the top, overall, we see about a 23 to 30% drop, because that would take us, that would literally take us back to this area where we found resistance on. We could just test it as support and then go from there. And where we go from there, where's it going to go? Actually, if we were to go about there, 153, we're going to make a move up above 250 very quickly. I say very quickly, I mean like within like the months, you know, to happen. It won't be as quick as this last week. I want to get this top again just to get the idea back. I remember it was around like $300 to $400. Around, so after this drop, I would expect Bitcoin Cash is going to see anywhere from like an 80% gain to like, I don't know, what would that be? If we saw it goes to 175, a move up to about 300 would be 71% at a minimum, to about 400, or it was just below 400, I think. Maybe it was just over 400. 100, so about 70 to 130% move over the coming month / 2 months. I think that's what we are in the thick of right now, man. I think it's happening. So that's all I got for you guys. Be cautious up here, man. Be very cautious, because you know I think it is all in all probably a safe time to buy. You know, if you can hold for a few weeks or a month or so, I think this high is going to get taken out. But I do think we go lower. Don't be surprised when we go lower, or if we go lower. Bearish divergence on the 4-hour. Definitely bearish divergence on the 4-hour. To be fair, this is hidden bullish divergence, but that could change. If we get a close below 186.5, let's see. What is it? 187. If we close below 187 on a 4-hour perspective, that's how you know that this move, this greater move that I'm talking about going down, it's in play. It's definitely in play, because then this bearish divergence is in play, and we've been overbought for quite a while. I don't know, man. There's bullish things about this RSI. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely showing strength, but I would not be surprised if we saw a move that came all the way back down here, around 150. I am expecting definitely at least 175 to hit, so that's where I'm going to put my buy order in. I want to see, actually, let's base it off of this fib before I go. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe to see more, all that stuff, all that good stuff. Yeah, man, just with the way it looks, I really like the 382. On strong moves up, like you can bounce off the 236. It happens. It's common enough. But the more common thing is to find, especially on strong moves that get continuation, you come back to the 382. So I might actually I might put most of my buy order below 170. Honestly, I might just do 169 just because. Most of my buy, I'm going to do 50% of the position at 169, and then from there, layer it lower to this 382 and just a little bit below, probably to where this high is. Yeah, I don't know, something like that. You know, it doesn't have to be precise. I know that like I just changed what I kind of said earlier. I'd be buying at 175. I think 169. That's a $6 difference. I think I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? If I miss that, if it does bounce off the 236, there will be signs that'll look like it's bouncing. And if I have to buy at 196, man, I guess I will. I guess I'll buy from the current top to where the price is. I guess I'll just have to buy 12% lower, whatever, instead of 23, 25, 27% lower. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, because where this thing's going, man, in the long term, in the very long term of things, it's going off the charts, bro. It's going off the charts. Top to all-time low, this fib right here, man, held this 0.069 as support. You're testing the 236 as resistance right now. This is the 3-month time frame. Wow. Yeah, man. The minimum extensions, if and when we break above the 618, the minimum extension is going to be at $13,000. So that's, you know, that's a taste of where we're going to go. Ultimately, yeah, this price up here at $158,000, yeah, that I think is going to happen with Bitcoin Cash if it continues to prove itself. If, you know, if it keeps going the way it's going. I like it, man. I really like it a lot. I think Roger Ver and the boys bought all the Bitcoin Cash they could down here and here, and we are about to reap the rewards off of that, man. We're going to reap the rewards on it. I don't think that we're going to go up to 100K this bull cycle. We could. It's possible. I don't think so, though. I think we'd more likely go probably anywhere from like 10K to 20K. You know, maybe at the most, even this 1618 here is at 53.2K. I would say somewhere in this range for the next cycle. When I say the next cycle, I mean the current one, right? Like we're going to go, I guess that's April 2026. We're going to go up, man, 3 month. It just looks so fast on the 3 month. If we were to top out at the 1618 by the end of 2025, we would literally see a move that just looks like that, like straight up, man. It's crazy. And it could happen. It really could happen. But yeah, all that to say, man, all that suffice to say, on the daily time frame, RSI is showing things that we've seen before, and when we've seen it, that's normally at a minimum of a 23% drop. So keep that in mind. That's the expectation, at least for me. I'm going to go set buy orders at 169 right after this video, and lower. Take care, everybody. Have a good day. Thank you.